Welcome to the Pressbox first edition. This is Wes Blomquist with Mike Foreman, Advocate Sports Writers. So, Mike, summer's over. Guys like us, that means one thing, high school football. What are you looking forward to this week?
I'm ready for some football. We've had some scrimmages, but we're finally going to get some teams playing against each other. And starts out right here at Memorial Stadium on Friday night.
Yeah. And I'll actually be at that game. Vipers taking on Taft this week. Big thing, both teams came in, finished last year with losing records. Both want to turn it around. For the Vipers, moving into a no-huddle offense, being led by O.J. Hughes. Hughes played running back last year as a sophomore. This year, they're looking to use his speed and his passing ability. So, also, Mike, you'll be heading over to Cuero this week. What are you looking forward out of that game?
That should be an interesting contest between Cuero and Beeville. We have two of the top quarterbacks in the area with Cuero's Tyler Arndt and Beeville's Eric Sosa. So I know people are getting excited about that game. Cuero went to the 3A semifinals last year and Beeville the 4A quarterfinals. And we went over to Cuero today and we talked to Cuero coach Mark Reeve and fullback linebacker Troy Weiss. We're here with Cuero coach Mark Reeve. They opened the season against Beeville on Friday night here at Gobbler Stadium. Beeville's an excellent team. They probably played Lake Travis better than anyone last year, the state champion. Kind of talk a little bit about what you expect.
Well, they're going to be a good football team. They, we feel like it's going to be one of the tougher football teams on our schedule. Of course, we've got a lot of them, but they're going to have a lot of confidence anytime that you play that long in the playoffs and, have the success that they did last year. It's going to carry over. They've got a quarterback that, is a 4-year starter. Probably their strength is probably going to be their offensive and defensive lines. They got a lot of size, and, their old kids have been playing good for a long time and had a lot of success last season, and I'm sure that's going to carry over for them.
I guess this would be a good measuring stick for your team, too.
Well, there's no question. I mean, that's why you schedule people like this. They're a good football team, and they're well coached, and they play hard, and those are the kind of people that you like to play.
We're talking to Troy Weiss, and the Gobblers open the season Friday night against Beeville here at Gobbler Stadium. Troy, talk about the season opener and playing Beeville.
It's the first game of the season. Everybody has a lot of expectations. As we know, Beeville's went to the semifinals last year in 4A. We went to the semifinals in 3A. And there's going to be a lot of tension there. Opening game should be the best game to the playoffs, I think.
They have a 4-year starter quarterback in Eric Sosa, who's the coach's son. Talk about playing against an experienced quarterback like that.
Well, he's been a 4-year starter, so he has a lot of experience. He knows the team very well. He knows all his players. That helps a lot on their side, because just for his experience being on the team so long.
You've been on this team now for a while, and there's always high expectations here, but kind of tell us some of the things that maybe people don't know that they should expect from this year's team.
People say, what we're going to do with, like Quincy, we lost Quincy last year at K-Ron. People say what we're going to do without them, but a lot of people stepped up this year. We have a lot of expectations. We have new starters coming in. We have new people that moved in this year. We should be good this year.
All right, Mike. Well, you were at the last game Cuero played, and you'll be at this one too. What are you taking out of what they just told you?
Well, I think Cuero's really excited about this season, and the same with Beeville. You have two teams with a lot of aspirations, and tonight will be a good measuring stick. Friday night will be a good measuring stick for what they're trying to accomplish. We have another game that's very interesting on Friday night. St. Joseph travels to Refugio to play the Bobcats.
I actually covered St. Joseph last year. Pretty interested to see how they pick up. They lost leading rushers Brett Stanford and their starting quarterback Kyle Kotzer. But they look to be picking – it's always a reloading, not a rebuilding with the thing. So in Refugio, they're a good team as well. What do you –
Well, Refugio is kind of interesting too. They have their entire line back almost, not intact, but almost entirely, and they have new skill people as well. So that'll be an interesting matchup. It'd be interesting to see how the young backs for Refugio come on early in the season.
That's something I'm looking forward to seeing too. How new quarterbacks, Andre Del Bosque, maybe Kevin Daniels for the Flyers. So that'll be interesting. And also the size. That's like you were talking about. Refugio has a lot of size. That'll be a big challenge for the Flyers. So I'm going to put you on the spot here. Who's your pick in this one?
Well, I'd say if I had to make a pick, I'm going to go with the Bobcats. They're awful tough to beat at Bobcat Stadium. And I think St. Joe's catching them at the right time, but it's hard to pick against Refugio at home.
Okay, I'm going to be a little homer, and I'm going to say St. Joseph.
Okay, we disagree on that one. We've got some other games in the area, too, as we get started off. And you can see the complete list of who's playing Friday night. Either check the Victoria Advocate or go to www.victoriaadvocate.com, and we'll have a complete list. But some other games are very interesting. We have Hallettsville and Edna playing, which will be an interesting matchup. Now, they were district foes last year, and Edna has moved to 3A. We also have Schulenburg and Shiner in their kind of last 3-year traditional opening. And then, of course, the Bloomington Bobcats under Lonnie Goad. He makes his debut. They travel up to Ganado to play the Indians, who are now a Class 1A team.
Another aspect of the Pressbox is highlights. We're encouraging coaches and fans to send in clips. You can either do this by sending us a URL from YouTube or bringing us a physical copy. Our address here is 311 East Constitution in Victoria.